good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we prepare for the second half of the regular season, or as I call it, the chase towards the chase for the championship here for Season 4 of the NNSCRA Hersheys Cup Series. We are getting set now to embark on 13 more races in which we will be determining the 16 drivers that will battle it out in this season's chase for the Hersheys Cup Series Championship. Now, at this point, we have had a total of 13 races, and we have had a total of 12 different race winners. However, at this current point in time, only 10 drivers currently with the wins have themselves inside the top 30 in the points, which would have their win count towards a spot in the chase for the championship. One driver who has a win that's outside the top 30 in points that is making her debut tonight as a chartered ride is rolling off from the 9th position. That is K Tsang, who won at Eldora. If you haven't tuned in this entire All-Star Race weekend or here this week in the Hersheys Cup Series non-charter race, the news being that CJ Racing has swapped the charter of Joshua Sakuli's 33 over to K Tsang's 28. Sakuli took part in the non-charter race here a couple nights ago, failed to make it into tonight's main event, but K Tsang going to be starting in the main event for the upcoming weeks, trying to get good enough finishes to get her into the top 30 in the point standings. Coming into this race, K Tsang is 43rd in points. She's got a long ways to go to try and get into that top 30 in the standings. We'll see what she can do here this evening on that road. K Llamas will line up on the pole here tonight alongside of Zachary Fitzwater. James McCloud will roll off 3rd with Sean Gallighan 4th, Flickinger in 5th, and 6th place will be Tim Walch, 7th place Blaine Keys. 6 out of the top 7 starters tonight looking for their first trip to victory lane in Season 4.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command to fire them up as we're going to get them turned loose. It'll be 60 laps of racing. It's our longest race of the season here in the Coca-Cola 600. 3 stages tonight. Lap 15 will be the completion of Stage 1. Lap 30, the completion of Stage 2. And then a long 30-lap third segment. The checkered flag at lap 60 is the end of Stage 3. Your point stands coming into this race. D Poteet is the points leader, and he's rolling off from the 8th position here tonight, looking for his 3rd win of the season. Trent Dunham is 2nd in the stands. He's 57 points out. Anthony McCrury, after winning the All-Star race here last week, he got 50 valuable bonus points due to that, and that jumped him up to 3rd in points. He's 58 points out. 60 points out, and 4th is Joshua Michaels. James McCloud is 5th in the standings with Levi McIntire, Zachary Fitzwater, Brandon Gonzales, John Arndt, and K Llamas, your top 10. As stated, 10 winners this season would have 10 spots right now as far as the 16 slots available in the chase for the championship. They would be D Poteet, Trent Dunham, Anthony McCrury, James McCloud, John Arndt, along with Charles Sandfer, J Bryant, M Haas, L Alvarise, and G Sydnor. Those drivers all have at least one win or in the top 30 in the points. We have another different winner here tonight. We could have that 11th spot filled in as far as the chase for the championship. We'll have to wait and see. 60 laps await us under the lights at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A couple of Dodge Darts. K Llamas and Zachary Fitzwater get ready to get us underway. Second half of the regular season is green. K Llamas with that inside advantage going to jump out in front. James McCloud trying to challenge maybe to take the lead, but he doesn't have, I don't think, a good enough run to get to the left rear going into turn 3 here. So it looks like the Lowe's Dodge Dart out of NW Racing will lead the first lap of the evening. And we will finish the first lap under green flag conditions. They're 3 wide a little bit further back, but they're keeping it double wide up here at the front of the field. Zach Fitzwater got himself down to the inside line after starting the outside of the front row, and now he's got something to say about trying to take the lead going down here into turn 3. He will get the spot. Blaine Keys following him. And it will be Fitzwater leading this lap. Blaine Keys going to try to the inside now, as so far we have been able to keep it green. I think the reason for it is because this race, as stated, is the longest race of the season at 60 laps. These drivers want to make sure they're around at the end. They don't want to race it up too much here, put themselves in a position where they could end up being involved in a wreck and have a very early end to their evening. See them still all pretty much double wide back there. Trent Dunham looked like was testing the waters 3 wide, and I think he just made it 3 wide. Well, it was 3 wide with John Arndt. Whoa! Zachary Fitzwater a little loose off the corner, and he might have brushed the wall off of turn 2. James McCloud takes advantage, and he'll go to the inside to try and take that spot. Blaine Keys showing the way, former chaser last season when he drove the 8 out of Sega Motorsports, now in the 42. Having a good run right now in that U.S. Army Chevrolet. Comes into this race finding himself in rather unfamiliar territory, 26th in the point standings. Looking very strong right now, but here come the Young Motorsports Fords. Dylan Young working his way by Cody Llamas for second, and there's Levi McIntyre now moving into the 4th position. Both those drivers looking for their first wins of the season. And Dylan Young drives to the inside. Nice move there. Heading into 1. Nothing Blaine Keys could do to block that momentum. And Dylan Young in the Chicago Cubs, Chicago Blackhawks Ford, he will go to the lead. Followed by fellow Floridian Cody Llamas. Already seeing some drivers that start near the rear of the field working their way to the front as L Alvarise makes an unscheduled stop in the Aaron's Dream Machine. Here comes Cody Llamas looking for the lead. Noticed DJ Curtis has worked his way up to the front of the field, as has Trace Williams and Chelsea Bowles. And they all made their way into this race via the non-charter event here a couple nights ago, as Dylan Young's going to hang on to the top spot into 3 at least for the moment. Dallas McIntosh and John Arndt now up here in the picture. Trying to find out what's gone on wrong with L Alvarise. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. Looks like there may be something mechanically wrong with that Chevy Impala. Well, coming into this race, we obviously had 3 former winners of the Coca-Cola 600. Only one of them is in this field here tonight. Back in season 1, it was James Richardson. Richardson failed to qualify into this race in the non-charter race. Season 2, it was Michael Norman who won this event. Michael Norman, of course, is now retired from the series. The defending winner of the Coca-Cola that was actually back in season 3, I should say, that Norman won. Back in season 2, it was Anthony McCrury who picked up the All-Star race win here last week. And he is in this field here tonight looking for his 2nd Coca-Cola 600 victory. And we almost had a wreck up here at the front when they went 3 wide, but DJ Curtis, the non-charter car out of WG Motorsports, up in front right now. The top 3 spots held by non-charter cars, with Caleb Barrell in 2nd and Trace Williams currently in 3rd. Here comes K Tellier in that Lincoln, though. She's going to try and break them up as she'll move into 2nd. They are still 3 wide with Cody Llamas in the middle. And you kind of get a little nervous when they're 3 wide, especially off of turn 4. Somebody just slips up just the teeniest little bit, it can cause a big wreck. And with them being 3 wide up at the front of the field, it really blockades the track up. As look at this, K Tellier got a little loose going into the corner. Trent Dunham's going to make the 3 wide move, and Trent's going to try and go for the race lead. He'll get the spot through 3, still 3 wide. Cody Llamas tried to find some way to get out of the middle, and he's going to get hooked by DJ Curtis, and somehow they kept it together. Curtis got the wall, came down into Llamas' right rear. Llamas nearly was sent up into the fence, and we nearly had a caution. That was a close call, up close at the front of this group of cars. Trent Dunham, Zachary Fitzwater, and there's Joshua Michaels, 4th in the point today, still looking for his first win since the season finale at Auto Club back in season 2. Go to the inside of Fitzwater. Dallas McIntosh having a great run, teammate right behind him, Blaine Keys. Right now, I actually just noticed all 3 of the Sega Motorsports cars are up inside the top 10. Dunham out in front, McIntosh in 4th, Blaine Keys in 5th. It's a good run for all of those Chevrolets. And I just noticed another figure that's working his way up into the top 10. And that is the defending winner of this race and the All-Star Race winner this weekend. That number 61 Ford Fusion of Anthony McCrury has now cracked the top 10. He's up in 9th. Trent Dunham showing the way, and it might be a Sega Motorsports 1-2 in just a moment going into 3. Dallas McIntosh going to try and get by Zachary Fitzwater going into 3. And they're 3 wide again. Dylan Young forces John Arndt into the middle. Joshua Michaels way up high. Fitzwater got the wall. They all stacked up behind him, but they kept it together. Didn't run him over, but Fitzwater did get a bit of that yellow safer barrier on the outside of turn 4 coming into the D-shaped front straightaway. And you can see how that backed everybody up. Top 5 have now broken away with a bit of an advantage over 6th place as everybody had to check up to avoid causing a wreck. But Fitzwater got the wall lap before. Whoa, McIntosh may have brushed the wall there as well. Trent Dunham and Dylan Young, 1-2, though cars 1 and 2. How ironic is that? We just need Brooke Allen up here to have it be 1-2-3. I haven't seen Brooke actually up here at the front yet in this event. Top 2 have now kind of broken away for the moment. Trent Dunham and Dylan Young. Dylan Young has Trent all to himself if he tries to make the move for the race lead, but he better make it soon. 3rd place Anthony McCrury is bringing a bunch of friends with him, including Steven Gonzales. And the reason that I point out Steven Gonzales is because Steven Gonzales won the non-charter race here a couple of nights ago. So trying to go for the Hersheys Cup Series sweep this weekend at Charlotte. Right now, Chevy, Ford, Dodge, Chevy. That is your top 5. As right now, it is actually a battle between some Chevrolets for that 5th position. And there you see some dust kicked up on the front straightaway. Someone must have gotten 2 tires down in the grass. But we're still green. One thing that we probably should start talking about now as well is the possibility of green flag pit stops. That could be a huge monkey wrench into this race. And I'm hearing somebody up ahead that these drivers may be encountering. I would wager a guess it might be L Alvarise, who I believe has returned to the track. No, it's Benjamin Miles. Benjamin Miles in the 25, who has a lot of right side damage on his Napa Dodge. L Alvarise is actually out of the race. So whatever the mechanical problem was that brought him to pit road, they could not repair it, and this could get interesting. Oh boy. Benjamin Miles, which lane is he going to give to the leaders? He will move high. Trent Dunham will go low. Oh, and McCrury didn't move low as Steven Gonzales took advantage. He'll move into 2nd now. 3rd place is going to be Dylan Poteet, or not Dylan Young, rather. Wrong Dylan. 3 wide as McCrury forces his way now to the middle line to try and get by the slower machine of Benjamin Miles. Another slower car up ahead. That looked like that might have been Chris Dodd. It is. Chris Dodd in the 88. Appears to be off the pace. And then up ahead of him is the points leader, Dylan Poteet. Well, Poteet came into this race as the points leader. Oh boy, this could be interesting. Dylan Young using Chris Dodd as a pick, and it will work. Dylan Young will go to the lead now, moving by Chris Dodd. Trent Dunham's going to get caught back behind the 88, as will Dallas McIntosh, and they may drop out of the top 5 as a result. But the thing that Dylan Poteet did not want more than the fact that he's in danger of maybe going a lap down is the fact that the 2 drivers that are trying to run him down for the points lead are running right now up inside the top 10. Trent Dunham 2nd in points and Anthony McCrury 3rd in points. They are right now running just inside the top 10, or for Trent Dunham's case, just outside the top 10 as he's still having difficulty getting around the 88 of Chris Dodd. He now will make his way to the inside. And Steven Gonzales, look at this, a little bit of teammate-ship. Using his Twinix Racing teammate Dylan Poteet as a pick. He will go to the point, but I don't think he'll be able to hang on to it because here comes G Sydnor now for the position. Oh, and are they going to go 3 wide for the lead? They are. Caleb Farrell sticks it down to the bottom, 3 wide under Sydnor and Gonzales. And Caleb Farrell will lead coming off of turn number 4, and he will lead that lap. Look who else has worked his way up to the front. He started way at the rear of the field. That is J Baskinger in the 5. His teammate out of AS Racing, J Arndt, right behind him. And Baskinger, I think, is going to think about 3 wide here into 3. And he will. Sticks Blaine Keys in the middle. And J Arndt's going to try and push his teammate to the front and get himself a valuable bonus point for leading a lap. Whoa! Garrett Sydnor got in the wall back there. Almost bounced into Joshua Michaels. But they keep it together. And now battle between teammates. And there's Caitlin Tsang. We talked about this being her first race of the season as a chartered ride. Well, not exactly making the most of it here this evening. She's going to become the 3rd CJ Racing car to go a lap down. As a matter of fact, I think that puts all the CJ Racing cars off the lead lap now if J Arndt makes the pass on her. And then the 4th entry, Joshua Sikuli, obviously didn't make this race. So not the night CJ Racing was looking for. One driver out of the race. And now Caitlin Tsang and Chris Dodd both off the lead lap. Oh, they're going to go 4 wide and 2, and there they go! Up into the wall goes Caitlin Tsang, almost into the catch fence. Dylan Young was collected. Trent Dunham was involved as we got a big wreck out of 2. They tried it 4 wide. It did not work. And James McCloud's going to lead us under our first caution of the evening, almost nearing the halfway point. And the car that was put in the tough position there was K Tellier. She wanted to get to the inside of Caitlin Tsang, but Trent Dunham was also already to the inside of her, and that's what caused the incident. First yellow of the evening. It took us 26 laps to have it come out, and this could be a welcome sight for these drivers that they will maybe be able to make their pit stop under caution rather than under green, which is what it was looking like. And there's some skid marks right there as well in the turn 3 vicinity. I'm not certain what that's about, unless that was a follow-up wreck. K Tellier on pit road, and Chelsea Bowles, Blaine Keys, they are not coming to pit road. That's some very interesting strategy. Not sure I agree with it, though. Because if this thing goes green to the end, they're going to have to make their pit stop under green flag conditions. But I guess Chelsea Bowles maybe was staying out to get the bonus point for leading a lap. Not certain if that was the case or not. But James McCloud came in as the race leader. Let's see if he leaves pit road as the race leader before we go back and look at a replay of what happened. Dallas McIntosh, Anthony McCrury, they've completed their service. Here comes J Arndt. They're going to try and beat McCloud off pit road. Oh, it's going to be close between him and Trace Williams, and he's just barely going to get out ahead of the 57. So it'll be McCloud, Williams, McIntosh, J Arndt, and Anthony McCrury. It looks like that'll be the top 5 when we go back green if Chelsea Bowles and Blaine Keys do not come to pit road under this pacing. Let's go back and see what happened to bring us under the caution for the first time here this evening. We have time, so we're going to look back at a couple of replays. This is what did not bring out the caution, but what caused the right side damage on Benjamin Miles and the retiring from the race of L Alvarise. There's the contact into the wall for Alvarise. He gets down into Benjamin Miles. Miles down into J Bryant, and then that sends Miles right back up into L Alvarise's machine, and Alvarise's car really got that wall ton, and that was enough to send him out of the race. So that did not bring out the caution, but that was an incident that did happen. And now we're going to see if we can find out what happened over in turn 3 before we take a look at the incident that happened out of 2. Well, you can see right here what I'm talking about. K Tellier tries to get to the inside. Trent Dunham is already there. And then they go down and they hook Dylan Young. Dylan Young goes up into Caitlin Tsang, who goes up into the catch fence. And I'm not rightly certain if we can document everyone that was involved, because I think for the most part, there weren't a whole heck of a lot of drivers that got damaged from this. You see right there, they settled it out. Looked like Baskinger and Llamas, they all slowed up in time. So I think really the only drivers that really got a whole lot of damage out of that incident were basically Trent Dunham, along with Caitlin Tsang, K Tellier, and Dylan Young, to be perfectly honest. And then I think the incident that happens in 3 actually happens with this. it was a follow-up wreck, I think. Though who it involves, I'm not rightly certain. Let's see if we can find it. Well, we don't have very good camera view here. Got something obstructing our view. Oh, there's some contact up here. No, that wasn't what it was. Somebody get into... Oh, back there. Brooke Allen. Brooke Allen got the apron. It snapped her car around. I don't know if there might have been some contact with DJ Curtis or not, and it sends her up right in front of Matt Haas's Toyota Camry. And that is what was the incident in the Turn 3 vicinity. The smoke had already cleared by time James McCloud had gotten back around. But that is what happened afterwards in Turn 3. And I don't like this. Yep, Caitlin Tsang gets Brooke Allen. I was wondering if that was going to be the case, and then a little bit more damage as well. K Tellier into Caitlin Tsang, and it looks like that was enough to put Caitlin Tsang's engine out of commission. So that's what put us under the caution. Let's go back now for the restart. Get ready to go back green. Blaine Keys did come to pit road, but Chelsea Bowles did not. She will restart as the race leader. And we have 4 more drivers out of the race joining L Alvarise. They include Caitlin Tsang, K Tellier, Dylan Young, and now also Matt Haas in the 78. Green flag back out. You saw those lap cars on the inside line there. Chris Dodd, Dylan Poteet, Benjamin Miles. And they're going to try and get ahead of here Chelsea Bowles if possible. Maybe hope for a quick caution to get them back on the tail end of the lead lap. Chris Dodd succeeds. Dylan Poteet trying to do the same as they are really wadded up behind. Who's made his way up here into this top 10 though? How about Kyle Mathews? Great run for the Kings Island Chevrolet all of a sudden. Looking good, and boy, they are really wadded up. They're a little slower back there with Joshua Michaels, Zachary Stoltz, and Dallas McIntosh. I don't know if somebody's slightly off the pace back there or not. Chelsea Bowles off the pace. Whoa, what in the world's wrong with the 56? Something's wrong. 56 is really slow. Oh my goodness, and it's wadding everybody up. Oh, contact there with Sean Gallighan, and Chelsea Bowles trying to get to pit road, and they're wrecking behind. J Bryant, Tim Walsh, Blaine Keys is upside down. Trent Dunham and Zachary Fitzwater. Caution's out again. And Chelsea Bowles, her decision to not come to pit road under that last caution really cost a lot of drivers. I thought I saw Brooke Allen just on pit road as well. And I believe... Nope. I was going to say, I thought Chris Dodd was back on the lead lap, but Caleb Farrell was able to get around him when they came to that caution, so he is still off the lead lap. But I think, actually, Dylan Poteet and Benjamin Miles may have raced their way back on the lead lap. Joseph Srigley, his night is over. And there you see Poteet and Miles. Yes, they are indeed back on the lead lap. And it looks like everybody's going to come to pit road again here under this caution, with the exception of Brandon Gonzales. So it looks like he may be our leader when we go back green. Let's take a look at a replay of what happened. Well, I don't think you put the blame on anybody but Chelsea Bowles on this one. I mean, put herself in a terrible position. I don't know if she was out of fuel or not. And then they were all wadded up. Joseph Srigley just gets run over by J Bryant. He gets sent up into the outside wall. And then Tim Walsh, he's going to hook J Bryant, who then in turn gets hooked by Trent Dunham, and they're going to go sliding around right in front of DJ Curtis. Oh, and Blaine Keys clobbered the wall further back there with Zachary Fitzwater. We'll have to see if we can find out how that started. And then Blaine Keys' car up and over and on his roof, and then comes back to rest on his wheels. To wind back just a little bit here, see what happened between the 76 and the 42. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Fitzwater going down to try to avoid. He's going to get the apron. Car snaps up and just slips into the Blaine Keys machine. And then you look back here, Joseph Srigley we saw with a lot of engine problems. It's because right there he gets clobbered by the Taco Bell Chevrolet of Brooke Allen. And her brakes are gone. Whoa! Baskinger makes a little bit of contact. That was a close call for him. He nearly plowed Brooke Allen. And then he's going to go up to the outside line and avoid all this mayhem up here as well. That to put us under the caution for the second time here tonight. Let's go back yet again for the green flag. So Brandon Gonzales will inherit the lead. 8th in points coming into this race, decides to roll the dice, and he will lead us back for our second restart of the evening with roughly 15 laps to go. Actually, make that 14 laps to go when they hit the line. I'm sorry, no, 24 laps. What am I thinking? Chris Dodd is still on the inside line, a lap down. He almost got back on the lead lap, but not quite. So he'll try now, hope for a quick caution, and try to get ahead of leader Brandon Gonzales. JT Bryant is also now a lap down. As the top 10, when we go back green, it's Brandon Gonzales, Caleb Farrell, Kyle Mathews now up to 3rd with Levi McIntyre and J Arndt. That's your top 5. Trace Williams, Anthony McCrury, Charles Sandfer now up in the top 10 in 8th. 9th place is James McCloud, with 10th being Zachary Stultz. Out of the race after what we just saw, include the cars of Joseph Srigley and Brooke Allen, joining Dylan Young, K Tellier, Matt Haas, Caitlin Sang, and L Alvarise back behind the wall. We have 35 cars still running, 33 of them on the lead lap. Green flag back out, and of those 33, 2 of them raced their way back on the tail end of the lead lap after that last caution, Benjamin Miles and Dylan Poteet. So we'll see if now they can make any forward progress. Now back on the lead lap with everybody else. Chris Dodd determined to get himself back on the lead lap as he's going to go to the inside of Brandon Gonzales. And he'll get out ahead of him, at least for the moment. JT Bryant trying to do the same, and that's going to put the lead to Kyle Mathews, defending champion of the Hersheys Cup Series, now out in front here in the Coca-Cola 600. Kyle Mathews getting some valuable experience in the All-Star race weekend as he ended up finishing 2nd in the Hershey Shootout Heat number 1. That was enough to get him into the All-Star race event. He partook in that as well. So Kyle Mathews trying to use that experience to his advantage, but he's going to have to hold off one of the best of the business because here comes Anthony McCrury, the defending winner of this race, former champion in his own right. They'll be side by side at the line. Who's it going to be? I think it was McCrury by a splitter there over Kyle Mathews leading that lap. And he's bringing former winner this season, James McCloud, along with him. McCloud, who won earlier on this season at a 1.5-mile racetrack, Texas Motor Speedway. So you got to think that he's very comfortable making his way here around Charlotte. Already been out in front a couple of times here this evening. And out in front once again. Give a call out there to Trace Williams in that 57. A great run for the NOS Energy Dodge. Go or go home non-chartered car, and up here fighting with the big boys inside the top 5. John Arndt right there as well, running solidly in the 4th position. Arndt coming to this race 9th in the stands. Obviously the best start he's had to a Hershey's Cup Series season in his entire career. A trip to victory lane already this year as well at Kansas. Looking very strong, trying to pick up his 2nd win of his career here this evening. Talked about Kyle Mathews. There's his teammate Charles Sandfer all of a sudden up here in the mix. Great run now for him at Reese's Pieces Chevrolet as he's currently in the 6th position. And Johnny Gardner also having a good run in his Dodge Dart at Discount Tires Dodge Dart as he is currently running in the 7th position. The battle for the lead is on. McCrury to the inside on James McCloud as these two battle. That'll bring 3rd place up here with him along with John Arndt, Kyle Mathews, and others. And McCrury will lead that lap. Notes in a couple other drivers that we haven't talked about. How about the Fire Ice Racing Toyota Camrys? Emmanuel Hartnett there along with Zachary Stultz. It looks like troubles for G Sydnor in the 38. He was on the apron rather slow. And I think there's something wrong with his machine. I don't know if it was that or if he got into the entry wrong and it got his car loose and he lost momentum. Whatever the case, though, he has lost a number of spots in the last lap or so. There's Hartnett. Talked about him. He's now in the 10th position. Great run for him. Just ahead of him, Z Flickinger. He's having a great run in his Dodge Dart. We got a couple of Dodge Darts up here having good runs. Flickinger, Gardner, and Trace Williams. And this battle for the lead's not going to go away. James McCloud all over the back bumper of Anthony McCrury. Both these drivers have found victory lane this season. Both of them now are trying to find a way to get to victory lane for a second time this season to maybe lock themselves into the chase. As a matter of fact, the top four have all been to victory lane already this season. McCrury at Daytona, McCloud at Texas, Arndt at Kansas, and Sandfer at Las Vegas. First non-winner that's a chartered ride so far. Right now running there in the 6th position, that is Levi McIntyre making the move on Kyle Mathews. Mathews also looking for his first win of the year. Trace Williams trying to play spoiler as James McCloud will lead this lap. Looks like J Baskinger is up ahead, slightly off the pace is the 5 car, and are they going to try and split him? Oh, McCrury goes way up to the outside line, and he's going to make it work. McCrury to the race lead, and now the inside line will open up for James McCloud and company. It's going to hold up Levi McIntyre on that outside line. He may have to try and stick it in the middle 3 wide here on the front straightaway. McCrury out in front with a gap, and that may not serve him well. If they remain single file from second on back, this mod runs on CTS physics, and they are going to reel him in quicker than you think. Boy, McIntyre still caught behind Baskinger. He is losing a lot of spots as a result. Here comes McCloud. Big run into 3. Can he follow it up out of 4 and keep it to the left rear of McCrury? Not yet, but he might be able to make a move going here into 1. He will step out and try going for the lead. Heading into turn number 1. We have 14 laps to go. Another slow car up ahead they'll have to deal with. I believe that's the 42 of Blaine Keys, who had that barrel roll in turn 4. There he is. Yep, that barrel roll obviously causing some internal injuries to his Chevrolet, and oh, they're going to catch him in a terrible spot. Oh, all wadded up right behind him. Everybody's going to catch up as a result of this. Which line's going to be able to make the move, though? J Arndt to the inside, and he will go to the race lead as a result. Sandfer follows through in 2nd. Trace Williams to 3rd. McIntosh to 4th. Stephen Gonzales now to 5th. And now Sandfer's going to lose some spots. He's going to get wadded to the high side. Williams will move to 2nd. Now McIntosh tries to take that spot with Stephen Gonzales in tow. Field's starting to break up here as they're encountering drivers in wrong portions of the racetrack here that are off the pace. Here comes Dallas McIntosh for the race lead. 2-time winner last season, but wasn't able to partake in the chase due to the fact that his wins came during the chase for the championship, but right now out in front trying to become the 2nd Sega Motorsports car to go to victory lane this season. Stephen Gonzales running there in 2nd. He's trying to become the 3rd Tweenix Racing car to go to victory lane this season. McCloud's done it once, Poteet's done it twice. And of course Gonzales looking for the Charlotte sweep as well, as he won the non-charter race here a couple of nights ago. Next time by, it is 10 laps to go. Right now we've got about 8 cars up here in this lead pack. Make it 9 cars. Yet you got Cody Llamas there in the 48. Last car in this pack, last time by, crossed in the 9th position. Kyle Mathews in 10th, trying to catch back up to this group as they're 3 wide back here. McCrury, Flickinger, Stephen Gonzales. There goes J Arndt. Cody Llamas right back into McCloud. Mathews involved. And Mathews has hit the glitch. Mathews has hit the glitch. J Arndt going to get hit by Blaine Keys. Brandon Gonzales involved. And where did the 09 go? We got to find him. There he is. Mathews has hit the glitch here at Charlotte. The car flying through the grandstands. He's now in the back straightaway portion of the track. I was wondering, we've had some drivers hit the glitch, but not to that extent this weekend. Kyle Mathews, though, becomes the one that hits it here tonight. And the caution comes out with less than 10 to go. Dallas McIntosh inherits the lead under this yellow. Big-time violent wreck here for our 3rd caution of the evening. J Arndt collected in it. James McCloud was in it. Kyle Mathews involved as well. And we are under our yellow flag for the 3rd time here this evening. Cody Llamas also getting a piece of that incident. So this sets us up for a shootout to finish out this evening's race in the Coca-Cola 600. But for the moment, we will step aside and take a look at a replay. I saw him 3 wide up here at the front, and I thought, uh-oh, this might not work. Steven Gonzales going to get the wall. And I think he may have had a little contact from J Arndt, and that killed J Arndt's momentum. It caused his car to turn down across the nose of K Llamas. And then what's typical of these D-shaped front straightaways, they slide right back up into traffic. Nowhere for J McCloud to go. K Mathews going to get clipped first by K Llamas, then gets nailed by J Arndt. And watch the 09. Watch right there. His car goes into the surface, and pa-choing, he's gone. Let's watch here this second group, see if anybody got involved in this wreck with them all stacking up. I think Blaine Keys got involved, but I think everybody else might have been okay. I think everybody else got on the brakes quickly enough. And nope. Alex Gray ran dead on into the back of Brandon Gonzales. Sent Brandon up into the wall. So that strategy of staying out did not work for the Mitsubishi Lancer driver, Alex Gray. His night's over, and there you see Blaine Keys, a lot of damage after he T-boned J Arndt's Zaxby's Chevrolet. Well, folks, hang on for a wild ride. We're going on board with the Kings Island Chevrolet. Grab a drink, a snack, and maybe a barf bag. On board with K Mathews. Many drivers have hit the glitch spot. K Mathews will join the ranks of that prestigious list. So when we restart, it will be with a total of 6 laps to go here this evening. Since it's less than 10 to go, single file restarts. Dallas McIntosh the leader. Trace Williams second, trying to become the 3rd non-charter car to go to victory lane here this season, joining the ranks of Caitlin Sang and Charles Jackson. 3rd place is the defending winner of this race and the All-Star race winner this weekend, Anthony McCrury. Zach Flickinger in 4th, Sandfer in 5th. Our winner here of the non-charter race here a couple nights ago, Steven Gonzales, will roll off 6th on the restart with J McCloud, J Arndt, and K Llamas 7th, 8th, and 9th. Now, they got involved in that incident, but they're restarting the top 10, so we'll have to see if they're up to speed or not. And J Gardner will restart inside the top 10 in that 10th position. Out of the race are the cars of K Mathews, obviously, along with Alex Gray and Blaine Keys. Also out of the race is Benjamin Miles, and also out of the race is Brandon Gonzales. Benjamin Miles out of the race. His car, his engine, let go in turn 2 here under pacing, so he had to take his car to the garage area. So a tough break for Benjamin Miles, who had been able to race his way back onto the lead lap after being trapped a lap down early on in tonight's event. But here we go. 6 laps. Will we finish it under green? We're about to find out. Green flag's out here again at Charlotte. Now McCloud looks up to speed. Arndt and Llamas maybe. We'll have to see if they've got anything left in the tank to be able to get up here to the front. DJ Curtis back there, I'm noticing, along with Zachary Stoltz and Sean Gallighan, some names we haven't heard of yet tonight. We could see here in these final few laps. McIntosh out in front, though. Trace Williams battling with Zach Flickinger for second, and as they battle for the runner-up spot, that allows the Cheez-It Chevrolet to be able to scamper away just the least little bit. You look at Dallas McIntosh's season so far, 32nd in the point standings. Obviously wants to get a win, but also would like to get himself into the top 30 in the point standings. So that way he can make sure he's going to have this charter heading into Season 5 of Hersheys Cup competition. He could do both, potentially, with a win here tonight. 4 laps to go. Charles Sandfer now moves into second. McCloud follows him. And now Sean Gallighan, I believe that is. No, that's K Llamas, actually. That's now up here in the mix. Flickinger may have gotten the wall just the least little bit there off that corner. And here comes McCloud. That car obviously not damaged. He is reeling in Dallas McIntosh for the race lead. Potentially the win is there. 3 wide back there again. One car got the wall. That was Flickinger, but they keep it together. We're still green. Here comes McCloud to the inside for the race lead. no! DJ Curtis just shoved Johnny Gardner up the racetrack unceremoniously. McIntosh, though, not going to go away quietly. Right on the back bumper still of McCloud. Takes a look to maybe make a run here through 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Gardner trying to hold on to third from DJ Curtis. 2 laps to go. They're racing 3 wide further back. Here comes McIntosh back to the bottom on McCloud. And he will clear him coming off of turn 2. I think, yes he does. McCloud thinking about the crossover. Doesn't quite get the momentum. McIntosh moves down. He's pinching him, trying to block him. Succeeds. White flag displayed this time by. Oh, trouble! Save it! They did! Trace Williams and Zachary Stoltz got together, but they saved it. They keep it together. McCloud to the inside on McIntosh for the race lead and the win. Will he clear him off of 2? McIntosh says not so fast. Still on the outside line. They're still side by side, but McCloud may have the advantage here. McIntosh may have to try a crossover. Still trying to hang tough on that outside line. Can't get to him. McCloud is going to pick up his 2nd win of the season. He'll take the checkered flag in the Coca-Cola 600 here tonight at Charlotte. 2nd win of the season for McCloud. 4th win of the season for the Tweenix Racing boys, as James McCloud and Dylan Poteet are now the only 2 drivers so far this season with 2 trips to victory lane. One more lap. McIntosh might have been able to do something with McCloud. They were kind of swapping the lead back every single lap. And if there had been one more lap on the ticker, McIntosh may have had McCloud. But McCloud had just the right number of laps for him, and he will pick up win number 2 of the season. A guy who came in 5th in the points standings. I think you can safely look at him as maybe one of the 16 contenders that will be in the hunt for the championship this season in the chase. Session should be complete, and indeed it is. Dallas McIntosh will have to settle for 2nd. Steven Gonzales will finish 3rd with a 1-3 finish for the Tweenix Racing entries. Levi McIntyre, what a battle back for the 99 after he got held up behind a slower car on the last green flag run. He'll get a top 5 in 4th, with Garrett Sydnor finishing the day out in 5th. 6th was Sean Gallighan, 7th for Johnny Gardner, DJ Curtis in 8th, 9th for Cody Llamas, and 10th will be Charles Sandfer. Give a shout out to both James McCloud and Cody Llamas, both involved in that last wreck of the evening, and they both still come away with top 10 finishes. Anthony McCrury will finish in 11th, Joshua Michaels in 12th, Keith Batson, great run for him, in 13th, with Tim Walsh 14th, and 15th will be Emmanuel Hartnett. The rest of your top 20 were Flickinger, Baker, Trace Williams after that contact with Zachary Stoltz, slipped back to finish in 18th. John Arndt, I guess the damage on his car affected him speed-wise. He slipped back to finish 19th, and Zachary Stoltz, as mentioned, he and Trace Williams with that contact, they were able to save it, but Stoltz will finish the evening in 20th place. The rest of the cars have finished on the lead lap. Caleb Farrell, 21st, Jessica Shelton, 22nd, Nathan Hudson, 23rd, Dylan Poteet, 24th, Trent Dunham in 25th, and Chelsea Bowles, the last car to finish on the lead lap, in 26th place. Zachary Fitzwater finished off the lead lap, as did Chris Dodd, J Bryant, and J Baskinger. And then out of the race were the cars of Kyle Mathews, Brandon Gonzales, Alex Gray, Benjamin Miles, Blaine Keys, Joseph Srigley, Brooke Allen, Dylan Young, K Tellier, Matt Haas, Caitlin Sang, and L Alvarise. So that is going to do it here this evening from Charlotte. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, to become part of the crew today. We are next going to be showing you your rookie point standings as well as your overall point standings heading into next week's race, which I do not remember where we are going, so I apologize for that. But I think that the point standings are going to be very shaken up now. Trent Dunham, Dylan Poteet, I don't think much is going to change as far as the gap between them, but Anthony McCrury will have gained ground. Obviously, James McCloud will have gained ground. So will have Levi McIntyre and also Joshua Michaels with their runs tonight. So the point standings could be a lot closer than they originally were coming into tonight's race. And I'll tell you what, with chase spots on the line and the points being close, we could end up heading into our regular season finale at Arizona with it coming down to mere points to who is going to get in to the chase for the championship. It's certainly seeming to be looking like that right now. We'll have to see as the season progresses on. Next week we are going to be going to the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway, so that'll be a crazy one. Hope you'll be tuning in for that. We'll see who's going to get themselves a famed Darlington stripe. James McCloud picks up the win tonight in the Coca-Cola 600. We will see you guys next week as you've been watching a production of NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.